Guys, yes! Fucking Champions League football. Champions League next season. This is... Boys, we've done it. We've done it. Fucking get in. Right, I'm back. Right? Last night's game was Chelsea. Right? I thought we'd go in. I thought we'd win. Being dead serious, thought we'd win. Before I go any further, we're going to have Ten Hag's lineup here, and then the lineup I would have ran with. I would have ran the same lineup I would have played against who was it? Was it Bournemouth? Yeah, I would have ran the same lineup I said I would have played against Bournemouth. I just think it's a very even out kind of team. You know, you have your heavy attacking, but then you can have a very heavy defence. So that's that. The two lineups in comparison. That's about it. Whack in the comments which you would have preferred. Were you happy with Ten Hag's? Would you have preferred to see something more like what I would have played? So yeah. So I'm gonna move on to the score prediction now. Okay, right. So with score prediction, I thought we'd go in and we'd win 2-0. Did not expect us to absolutely, I wouldn't say batter, but we gave Chelsea now smack, just 4-1. Oh, 4-1. It was going to be 4-0, but in fairness to João Felix, his goal was a nice goal, right? I would prefer to keep a clean sheet, obviously. It means we've conceded less, and it means De Gea gets an extra, just another clean sheet. Fortunately didn't, but you have to give it to João Felix. It was a nice placement of the ball, considering how many shots Chelsea just bottled throughout that game. But yeah, I thought we'd go in. I thought we'd win 2-0. Didn't think it'd be 4-1. But I'm not going to complain about 4-1. Not at all. Right, so we're moving now on to player predictions. Player performances. My bad. I'm fumbling over my words on this one, and I did in the last one as well. And I remember the old fucking Anthony for Sancho mishap. But anyway, player performances. Casemiro. Oh man, Cassie is just on a different level. He's on a different level. Just without a doubt, he's man the match at that game. He just was. Without a shadow of a doubt, he was man the match. You know, obviously his header gave us our first goal, gave us that bit of it gave us that kind of grip on the game. And then with Martial's goal, Cassie's ball into El Sancho for Sancho, then to lay it off Martial, just really showing his class. Like, considering he's a deep line midfielder, like he's a defensive mid. So considering that, some of his ball playing and how he can be when we're pressing and attacking, it's just, you're looking at it and you're like, how are you doing that as a defensive midfielder? Like, that's stuff he shouldn't be doing as well as he does. But obviously, any United fan isn't going to complain. He's just made our team so much better this season, and you've seen it because when he's been out of games due to injury or a suspension, you can see how much we've missed him. So, you know, just he's brilliant. I love him. Sancho. Now, some people might say Sancho was a bit bad during the game, and I wouldn't say he was bad. He just seemed a bit meh at times, quiet as well at times. But he did play two lovely through balls. Obviously, one is going to be the one for Martial where he scored. But I think the through ball, the little square off to Bruno he gave. Now, unfortunately, Bruno hit the crossbar. But I thought that little just slick, nice tap across, I thought it was really nice. It was like, that's why we brought him to United. We brought him due to his assists. So, considering he's been off form in games and throughout the season, to see those nice balls be played, it just shows you glimpses of why we got him, and it gives me hope that he may be able to bring that into pre-season and work on it so he's back to how he was at Dortmund come next season. So the next player we're going to have a look at is Bruno. I thought he was very average kind of for Bruno. Like if you looked at him and you looked at that performance and it was Fred or McTominay, you'd go, pretty good game. But when you look at Bruno's performances throughout the season, I thought that was just very average for the level you'd expect of Bruno at this stage. Obviously, he scored his pen. As I said when we talked about Sancho, he unfortunately missed and hit the crossbar with that play through. But yeah, I don't think he was awful. I don't think he was great. I just thought he was kind of pretty average for his level. That's really all I have to say. Like, yeah. Now, when we're looking at Rashford, because he's going to be the next player I want to talk about, I thought he was pretty quiet. I thought he was very quiet for how long he was on the field. Like, obviously, we got the substitution for Anthony, because obviously the injury. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Hoping it's not too bad. But yeah, it was very like Bruno. I don't think he was great, but I don't think he was awful. He was just very quiet for what you'd expect of Rashi at this stage. Nice little tap in, obviously. Yeah, very like Bruno. Like, I don't think they were either of Bruno or Rashford were awful. But I just thought they'd do a bit more when they were on the field. Just from past games and past performances, you'd kind of expect a bit more of the two. But they didn't play shite, so you're not going to complain either. It was just average. You'd prefer that than a woeful performance. So yeah, they're just the four players that kind of stuck out most to me. I thought Malacia was alright as well. Malacia did pretty good for the time he got at left back. He's the only other player I kind of thought maybe, but yeah, the four that stuck out to me most were Casemiro, Sancho, Bruno, and Rashford. So yeah, that's it for the player performances. So what we're moving on to now is obviously the subs made, and subs I would have made and the subs Ten Hag made. And you know what? Looking at it, Anthony for Rashford, obviously, the injury, kind of, as I said, hope it's not too bad. Shaw for Malacia, you have Martial for Garnacho, Eriksen for Fred, Bruno for McTominay. And when you look at the subs and the options of substitutions Ten Hag had for that game, I would have done the exact same, to be honest. I don't think there was any other players you would have looked at and said, you know what, I'd prefer him over a set player. Like if we had Iqbal or Pellistri, at either of those games, if we had either of those as options, I personally would have preferred those over McTominay. There really is none that I look at and I'm like, it's a silly substitution. Like, just a quick run through it again. Well, I don't even have to. They're probably here, right? So if you're looking here and you then have a look at who the substitutes that went with them. You know, I haven't done this, but I'll do it now just to give you an idea of the fact that they weren't awful substitutions. Yeah, so in ways of substitutions, he had Rashford, Malacia, Fred, McTominay, Garnacho, Maguire, Delao, Weghorst and Butland. Like, when you look at those, the four players that you didn't use as subs were Maguire, Delao, Weghorst and Butland. You're not going to sit there and go, I'd prefer any of those players over the ones that you did decide to sub on. So, you know, it's there's nothing he could have done better, but there is worse subs he could have made. As well as I think he's resting a lot more players, obviously, for either he's going to play some at Fulham, which will be the next game I'll cover, and then obviously we have the FA Cup. Right, so we've now made it to the end of the video. I've ran through everything. I ran through lineup, the score prediction, player performances, substitutions made. So we're getting to the end of it now. That's it. It's the end of the video, man. It's all done. I've cleared everything. I'm good to go. So, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.